My name is Brian Chase. I buy and sell business jets, turboprops, and helicopters so that I can afford to feed my love of flying. My wife Kim, son Thomas, and I recently purchased our own aircraft, a Cirrus SR-22 that needed some love and attention. Join us on our journey as we experience the joys of personal flying, seeing lifelong old friends, and learning how to become more advanced and more proficient pilots. This is the Chase Aviation Channel.
Okay, ATIS is 120.0. CAF is 122.8, which we know that. You're not calling for clearance on the ground?
Nope.
Okay.
Custer traffic, Cirrus 817 Bravo Kilo is going to be back taxiing on runway 26 for an immediate departure to the west. Alright, so if we've reached the about halfway point down the runway and it doesn't look like we're having enough power, we're going to abort the takeoff below 70 knots, and as long as everything looks good, we'll continue the takeoff, climb to our VFR altitude.
And how long was our takeoff from? Over 3,000?
3,300 and something feet.
And how long is this runway? It's right there.
5,500.
For field takeoff.
Okay, here we go. Holding the brakes, fuel flow, we're looking for 24, 23. Use a little more fuel in there. I like it, there we go. Gauges are all on the green. Airspeed's alive, 40 knots, 50 knots. Oh, we're doing great. 60 knots. Yeah. That on, those numbers are great. There's 80 knots, flaps coming up. Well, welcome to leg 2 of our westward journey. If you hopefully saw the last video where we were flying from our home in western New York State to Rochester, Minnesota, and then finally in Custer, South Dakota, which is where Mount Rushmore is, or the closest airport to it. That was it was a pretty neat experience. I think the Mount Rushmore was more impressive than I was anticipating.
Yeah, I liked it. It was really neat. I learned some stuff.
Yeah.
We didn't spend too much time at Crazy Horse because I didn't know until we got here that that statue's not even done. So it's just the face, and you can see that just driving down the highway. So that was kind of an interesting, I don't know, tidbit. I guess the rest of his body and the horse will come in the next 30, 40 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, but loved where we stayed.
Yeah, the Black Forest Inn was a really nice bed and breakfast.
Brian's never stayed at a bed and breakfast before,
no.
And this one was really well done. It kind of felt like a little bit of like a luxury hotel in the common spaces.
Yeah, I think so too. And we had a downstairs suite which had a like a common area that was attached to it that nobody else went to but us. So it felt like we had this big, huge lower level.
Yeah, it was great.
2,000 square foot place. Yeah, the food was great, and
the hosts were amazing.
Can I cast for approach 120.65?
20.65.
120.65 for 7 Kilo. See ya.
Yeah.
Hey, Casper, Sirius 817 Bravo Kilo 10, 10,000.
Sirius 817 Bravo
Thank
Kilo,
you.
Casper approach, howdy sir. Casper altimeter 3017.
3017 for 817 Bravo Kilo.
Sometimes I come in pretty handy, huh?
You are pretty handy, dandy.
Anyway.
All right, so you were saying the hosts were pretty great.
Yeah, we just loved it. So just
Sirius 7 Bravo Kilo, I'm not sure if Denver gave you a heads up, but I'm going to need you at 12,000 on the way out. You can expect to climb to 12,000 around 10 from Oily, if that's okay.
Yes, sir, we were planning on that. We'll expect 1 to 12,000 at Oily for 817 Bravo Kilo.
Thanks. And I've got reports of light chop, regional jet just departed to the southeast over the mountain. Light chop from 8,000 to 11,500.
I would agree with that even here at 10,000 for 817 Bravo Kilo. And I actually, just out of curiosity, is there any way that you can give us a shortcut after Oily to, if you look at our flight plan, like over to Grips or the Gegme?
7 Bravo Kilo, you'll have to spell those fixes for me and I'll look at it on my computer because some of them probably won't be on my system here.
What was that?
he wants you to spell out Gig C or whatever the name of the...
Okay, yes. The first one would be Grips, Golf Romeo India Papa Sierra, or even better, if possible, Golf Echo Golf Mike Echo.
I'll take a look, stand by.
Thank you.
Well, this is great because we're going to talk about high altitude flying here. So we're just jumping right in.
As an easy segue from ATC, yeah, we're at 10,000 feet right now on an IFR flight plan, which is many thousand feet above.
Sirius 7 Bravo Kilo, did you have a fix that you wanted to rejoin your filed flight plan? Do you want to do one of those fixes and then Alcal, or just one of those fixes and direct Boise?
Probably one of those fixes and then Alcal for 817 Bravo Kilo.
Roger, let me look.
This ATC guy is being very, very accommodating. It's not something I would normally ask an air traffic controller to do, but it could save us at least 20 minutes and give us some better views of the mountains.
Yeah.
If the auras, the minimum off-route altitude, allows it, which I don't think it does. So potentially we cancel IFR and then get VFR flight following over to one of those. I gotta switch our tank if we're gonna do that.
Yeah, we're basically trying, I mean, we're going to 12,000 feet for a little while. We don't want to be up there the whole flight if we don't have to. So we're just maybe going to be up and down in altitudes if
Yeah, a little bit.
able. Yeah.
Yeah, so the oxygen requirements, obviously, you may or may not know, as you get higher in altitude, there's less and less oxygen per breath of air. And at 12,500 feet, the FAA requires that if you're going to be above that altitude for more than 30 minutes, that you have a supply of oxygen on board. We brought little oxygen bottles. These don't count for the FAA, but we're not going to be above 12.5 at all, so we're not required to carry anything. This is just supplemental if we start feeling any sort of issues. And there's plenty of outs too. We can land at a lot of different places, but we are certainly encountering light chop here. I don't think it's going to get a whole lot better.
He
when
said
we
to
bump up.
11.5.
Yeah.
So maybe when we get to 12 by Oily, we'll be out of it, hopefully. But I might take a few puffs of oxygen just so I don't get any headache or feel any fatigue later today, because we're trying to make it all the way to Oregon, which will be a big full day. And then we're meeting friends, and, you know, we're going to want to go out, and so we're going to want to be feeling good.
Yeah, for sure. But if we're not feeling good, we can just stay overnight in Boise and then pick this up first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Not the end of the world. We did like 2 days at a couple different places to give us some buffer room for stuff like this. Mountain flying is very, very serious business. There's so many trade-offs for weather and terrain.
7 Bravo Kilo, I can
Nice.
probably accommodate direct grips. If you want to do direct Muddy Mountain, then direct grips from there, we can just bypass Oily if you prefer that.
Yes, that would be fantastic. So we'll go direct Muddy Mountain and then Grips for 817 Bravo Kilo.
Sirius 7 Bravo Kilo, sounds perfect to me. So you're clear to Boise Airport via radar vectors, you're direct Muddy Mountain, then direct Grips, Golf Romeo India Papa Sierra, direct Alpha Lima Kilo Alpha Lima, then S Alpha.
Okay, radar vector. Go to Boise, radar vectors, Muddy Mountain, and then Grips, and after that, Alcal, Boise for 817 Bravo Kilo.
Sierra 7 Bravo Kilo, read that correct?
Thanks so much, buddy.
You bet.
Does that change when we need to be at 12,000?
And actually, are we able to stay at 10? I guess you'll probably need us at 12, and we'll wait for you to tell us that.
Sierra 7 Bravo Kilo, affirmative. I do need you at 12,000 for Denver's MEAs on that side of the field. You can climb at pilot's discretion, maintain 12,000.
Pilot's discretion up to 12,000 for 817 Bravo Kilo. I'm going to climb nice and shallow.
Yeah, it's great. And we'll maybe get out of the turbulence a little bit. Anyway, I think we're still talking to our people. I don't know.
Yeah, hey people, we're back again. Hey Tom, how you feeling back there, buddy? I'm good. Are you? Yeah.
Good.
Okay. All right, well, we will talk to you again if anything interesting comes up, or landing in Boise.
Yeah.
So we're at 12,000 feet here. We have our little supplemental oxygen bottles here that Kim keeps taking a couple drags on every once in a while. I'm feeling pretty great, but not too great, because that is one of the early signs of hypoxia.
Whoa.
Whoa. Fingernails are great. Anyway, it's just a little bumpy. We got some big, we probably had a 30-degree bank here and there, but that's all right. Thomas hasn't
And so number 660 here. You guys maybe have a different transmitter. We heard half of that.
He's back there.
Nope, you're here. Okay, thanks.
Is he sleeping?
I don't think so.
Salt Lake,
Oh, he just waved.
61, we're 360. Good afternoon.
Well, I've never been to Boise. That couple that we were talking to made it sound like kind of a cool place.
I've heard a lot of people say that, actually.
Yeah?
It's a really cool place. Yeah, Big Sky, 817 Bravo Kilo has a field to say.
O'clock, 13 mile. Sirius 7 Bravo Kilo, Big Sky approach.
We must have stepped on each other. 817 Bravo Kilo, yes sir.
Sirius 7 Bravo Kilo, report airport in sight, 12 o'clock, 13 mile.
Airport in sight, 7 Bravo Kilo.
Sirius 7 Bravo Kilo, max forward speed, cleared visual approach, runway 28 left.
We'll speed up, cleared for the visual 28 left, 7 Bravo Kilo.
Sierra 7 Bravo Kilo, turn right at Echo, cross runway 28 right, contact ground.
Right at Echo, cross 28 right, contact ground for 7 Bravo Kilo.
After being up at high altitude for about 4 hours, we were very glad to be on the ground at Boise. We stopped at the Jackson Jet Center, door-dashed some food, paid for our very expensive gas, and I let Thomas fly the next leg. Unfortunately, the audio did not work, and so we didn't get any of that, but it was a pretty uneventful flight, except that it was extremely hot coming out of Boise. I wasn't expecting it to be, I think it was almost 100 degrees. The front camera there died, and the back camera wasn't recording audio. It was just a tough day, but took in some beautiful views. This, I believe, is Lake Owyhee. This is some sort of a really cool crater. Couldn't figure out where that was. This is, I believe this is Mount Bachelor in the distance there. And the beginning of the Cascade Range, which was really, really pretty. Might need your help on this. I think this is called Diamond Peak, or maybe Mount Thielsen. Crater Lakes in the background, and I really kind of wish we'd gone over there and looked at it. So that's the Pacific. We finally got there. Thomas is doing a short field approach and landing into Bandon State Airport. I think it was like a 3,500 foot strip. He had his airspeed nailed. I was on the yoke with him. I'm a new CFI, so I'm still a little nervous. Actually letting your own child land your airplane. So the main reason for flying to Bandon, Oregon was to see an old buddy of mine, Kevin, his beautiful wife and kids. Kevin and I grew up together in Western New York, parted ways after college, but always stayed in touch. He was a fantastic golfer and decided to make that his career, doing what he loved, and became one of the best caddies at the world-famous Bandon Dunes Golf Resort. So when he invited us to go there, I was not going to say no. In addition, we went on a few gorgeous hikes around the area, and the Pacific coast is incredibly windy, but incredibly beautiful. I wasn't expecting to see seals. I don't know why I'm so enamored with these seals, but it was a lot of fun. Thanks for watching part 2 of our 6-part flight across America. In the next episode, we fly down the California coast to Arcata, California, where we stay for a couple days to see the Redwood forests and drive through the Avenue of the Giants. Truly stunning, and you will not want to miss it. I was able to record Kevin giving my son and I a golf lesson and got his okay to share this with you guys. I learned a lot in this. This is actually pretty incredible, and it's already shaved a few strokes off my game.
So, feet like this, I'm going to turn sideways, but you guys are essentially the target. If I have both my feet pointing the same direction, perfectly parallel, as far as my hips can turn, we're all a little different, but as far as my hips can turn is there, which is what, 35, 40 degrees offline? So if you can only turn your hips 35 degrees toward the target, the only way you can get the club face to square up to the target is by flipping the hands. Because if the club face is square and you're only turning to there, the club face is going to be open at impact, and it's going to miss right and it's going to slice right. So I'll have both of you guys try this, but just going from here to there, 10 degree turn with the foot, it's called flaring the foot out. I can get all the way to there. And I'm not sure how much you guys paid attention to like my pre-shot routine, but this is obviously a longer version, but I choke up.
I did see that, yeah.
So I don't take full practice swings, but my practice swing is essentially like parallel with the ground. Like you don't need to go up in here. Like I'm literally doing a drill on the golf course to get myself to feel what I need to feel, which is here to here.
Okay.
So here to here, and this drill works like you guys literally buy a $5 piece of wood or $10 piece of wood.
Yeah.
So you're literally just going parallel with the ground to parallel with the ground. Look at my hands and wrists. Are they doing anything other than holding that stick?
They're locked, yeah.
The answer is no. They're just locked. And that is what really good golfers do. If you do this drill incorrectly, that is the instant feedback. If the part of the wood that's above your hands ever touches your hip, you screwed up. It should never, ever touch your hip.
Wow.
I meet thousands of golfers a year, and most average golfers who are shooting around 90 do this.
Do I do that?
I actually wasn't paying that close of attention because I didn't want to get into all this stuff when you guys were on the golf course.
Yeah, because then I'd
take
get
away fun.
Too cerebral about it.
Yeah, exactly. But I would imagine that since like the way that you guys miss, I would say probably yes.
Yeah.
So
that's what generates a slice.
So the power in the golf swing, and this is why like I'm taller. Like shorter guys don't have to do it as much, but the power in the golf swing is here down. The mistake, and I used to do this this is what I was talking about briefly yesterday. I wish I knew how to play golf when I was back in New York. I used to try to hit it hard with my hands.
Right.
So like every other sport, like I'm trying not to kill Liz here, but I would get to here and I would try to time a hand flip.
Yeah, I remember you
I could hit
specifically doing that.
I could hit it way further than I do right now.
Yeah.
Like I could fly at 330.
Right.
But who knows where it was going.
Right.
So like the power to be powerful and consistent, the move is really getting to here, like on the downswing, getting to there.
Okay.
But if you you'll feel it. Like this drill, like you literally don't have to hit golf balls to get better at golf. You literally can do this drill here to here. You do 100 of those a day, with like 100 good ones a day.
Yeah.
And then when you go back to playing golf, like it's just all the movement It's the hips turning around the front leg.
Yeah.
It's the torso turning around the spine without a bunch of without a bunch of
shifting.
that. So it's this, and then like eventually your hands do break. Like your hands do break
Once they're past the hip.
but it's past here.
Yeah.
If your hands are breaking anywhere back in here, you're losing power. And the bigger problem, none of us is coordinated enough
Not for
to
consistency.
get that little flat piece of metal
Right.
to line up with that target.
Oh.
But in all seriousness, I want you to see how flexible your hips are.